My name is William Eick, and I am the executive chef owner of Matsu, Naegi, and Hokkaido Bread Company. Matsu is kind of my dream baby, right, for restaurants. I've been in North County 17, almost 18 years now. Oceanside, I want to say about 8 or 9 years. My kids were born here. My wife was born here. Most of my executive chef experience and experience running restaurants is Oceanside. So I've been here a long time. And it's nice to do what we do from home. I mean, even just working in Oceanside for the last 8 years, it's changed dramatically. I mean, it came from a point where a gastropub was probably the nicest food you could get here. And not bad quality by any means, but that was a fine dining meal at the time. And now we have a tasting menu only restaurant in Oceanside. Of all of the really good meals I've had in the county, I always stand by Oceanside has some of the best food in the county. It really does.
That's nice.
Not just because I'm here.
Yeah, no, it's nice to, wear it on your shoulders.
And it's also a weight on my shoulders too, because we're held to that standard. And we have to produce that quality of food, especially for where we are. If you're driving, let's say you're coming from downtown San Diego, it's a 45-minute to an hour drive. It's got to be good. Absolutely. It's got to be worth it.
You basically converted Matsu into more of a tasting menu. How does that, or why? What was your intention behind that conversion?
So when we first opened, we had a 4-course and an 8-course, and you could add like your Wagyu and caviar supplements and everything. Originally, it was about a 50-50 split. From then on, we moved to a prepaid kind of setup for your reservation, so we knew what the guest was walking into. We can better prepare, lower our waste, really kind of be smart and give the best experience that we could to our guest. Once we changed to that prepaid, we saw 80% of our guests move to the 8-course. And at that point, it was, okay, we're just going to move to the full 10. We're going to give you caviar anyways, an extra dessert, and then if you want the A5 Wagyu, you can add it on stuff. And
you do have a chef's bar over there, chef's table. What has that experience been like, being able to directly serve and host and let people in on your process?
My sous chef does more of the counters than I do, realistically, because I'm much more introverted. He's much more extroverted. Okay. So we do a 4 o'clock seating, a 7:15 seating, all 11 courses, twice a night, obviously, for 2 guests only at a time. They get to see all the food going out. They get to see us bicker and banter at each other, which there's honestly not that much of. We're more just having fun and goofing off. But they get that full-blown experience. They get to look into the kitchen and see everything and do everything, ask us a million questions. Their experience typically does last a little bit longer than somebody at a table. They might see something that's not on the menu, occasionally, depending if something fun walked in the door. The other night, a supplier handed me some skate wing, so we use that as the tempura course instead of the normal shrimp. There's a little bit of wiggle room for the counters, but it's a fun experience to look in.
From a mental health perspective, what are some things and some core thoughts that you've brought into these establishments as you've created them? Is there any type of, I guess you surf in the morning, so is there an active lifestyle aspect of your current process and for your team?
I mean, exercise always helps, realistically. Some sort of release outside of work. I definitely believe in that more for my cooks than myself. More because I'm just used to working too much, to be honest. I've always believed that happy cooks make better food. And the way we like to treat our staff within our whole company, between all 3 businesses, we don't scream in the kitchen, we don't raise our voice, we don't yell. We're calm, we're polite. We treat them just as their equals. We listen to them. We give them what they need to grow. We believe in them. We try to take the time out of our day to teach them. Maybe teach them a little bit more than we even have to at that point. Instead of just taking a line cook and saying, hey, here's your thing, this is how you cook it. we try to show them why they're cooking it, building the flavor profiles, get them tasting things. Sometimes we even show them how to write a recipe and cost it out, just so they understand the full aspect of the business. We're all about growth. We're all about taking care of our people.
We heard a whisper about you possibly chasing a Michelin star at some, chasing a Michelin star. For you personally, what does it mean to be doing that and to be doing it in your own establishment?
I mean, the star is what we all chase, right? Really, at the end of the day, every chef wants one, whether they say it or not. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that we're consistently pushing forward, trying to get better every day. We want to know if what we're doing is really worth it. The goal for us eventually is two for this restaurant. Matsu, in that sense, can never be replicated. It is a true study of our terroir. We use the Japanese techniques, ingredients, and philosophies behind food, but we use the flavors of what grows in Southern California and a little bit more specifically San Diego. So we're very much time and place. We try to give an experience that you can't have anywhere else in the world. I mean, where are you going to get pine needle sorbet? Only at Matsu at the moment until somebody else does it.
Oh, no, don't do that, guys.
It's delicious. It's delicious. But that's our goal here is to really give you an experience, not just give you food and a meal, but they want to be challenged, and we definitely challenge the guests with some of our food. I mean, cooking really at the end of the day is a form of art, right? Once you get to that level. So trying to tell somebody that they have squid 3 ways and sunflower 4 ways on a plate that looks like there's one thing on the plate, they're a little confused. They're like, okay, where is it really all? And they lift the little veil off and there's everything, and then they eat it and they're like, okay, I'm really eating a sunflower right now. And you're like, yeah, you're eating a sunflower, not just the seeds.
How's it taste?
Like, tastes great.
Exactly.
And you know, we have to give that challenging aspect, but at the end of the day, it still needs to be delicious. It's usually pretty linear. It really depends. Usually I try to pick 2 things and focus on what they are and what they truly taste like. And sometimes I'll even pick 1 thing. And we have a tangerine dessert. It's literally just a tangerine over and over and over and over and over in several
different ways.
Yeah. But it's anything that's added in, like the sesame seeds, is the thought process behind a truly good tangerine. It's going to have some slight nuttiness to it. So trying to pull that flavor profile out and study what that fruit truly is.
You already blew my mind. A true tangerine has a sense of nuttiness to it.
Yeah. What? So you start to think about flavor profiles and what you're tasting in the best quality that you can get and expand upon that. Really, at the end of the day, Matsu is about kind of the study of what's on the plate. Our pork dish is more a study of roses. Our squid dish is more a study of sunflowers. Our hamachi dish is more a study of the tomato. Like, everything is more about the vegetable than the actual protein. And from there, it's fitting the flavor profiles and adding a little bit of ingredients and technique to draw and pull and layer and bring depth to the dish.
It's a beautiful dance.